Hi again, and welcome to In the Moment with Ziri and Janet. I am Ziri, and I'm here in the United Kingdom. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Janet.
Hi, Siri.
Thank you very much. You might tell our viewers where you are.
Yes, I am in Florida, in the United States, and very much looking forward to bringing yet another episode to our viewers about mindfulness.
Thank you very much for introducing our topic. And as if you're joining us for the first time, this is In the Moment. Do subscribe to the channel you're watching us on. And click on the notification button so that you know when we have a new episodes uploaded. We are in the moment, it's cross continental, Europe and the US, and we are here today to discuss mindfulness. By way of introduction, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is simply being present in the moment. That is basically what it is. So you are being mindful of your actions. You are being mindful of your thoughts. You are being mindful of what you are doing at, each moment. You're not just allowing things to just happen haphazardly or just anyhow. You are being thoughtful. It also involves how we relate to one another. Remember that we are collectively humanity, and we are all connected. We are interconnected. Even the continental land masses, show that we are all connected, whether we have water bodies in between, but we are one global family. We are one with nature. So how I treat Janet effectively has it has an impact upon my wellness. How we treat the people around us impacts the quality of our own life. How we treat our environment and nature, this is clear, isn't it? It impacts our life as well. If we cut off all the trees, destroy all vegetation, then we're likely going to, die of asphyxiation because there'll be no plant to produce the oxygen which we need. Isn't it ironic that we are keeping plants alive and they're keeping us alive because we need the oxygen which they give off to exist, and then the CO2, carbon dioxide that we give off is what they need. That shows us how interconnected we are. Mindfulness is also about being compassionate. It's about being considerate of other people. So today we are going to be talking about how we can maximize our present and also how we can make the past work to our advantage and also the future work to our advantage. I'm going to allow Janet to come in with her opening and then we delve in properly.
Yes, thank you, Siri. When I think about mindfulness, and rightfully so, it deals or it refers to be more compassionate, more kind towards other people, and also towards ourselves. And what I'm gonna, if you allow me, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a story.
Yes,
so there was a monk in India. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha Gautama is the Buddha. And the concept of mindfulness is coming from his teachings as a monk. Siddhartha was being raised in a kingdom. He was actually a prince. And Siddhartha was always protected by his father, the king, not to ever leave the kingdom, so that he wouldn't know about suffering. He wouldn't know about old age. He wouldn't know about despair and poverty. He was to become the greatest emperor India had seen, or that region of India. So Siddhartha Gautama, who later on became the Buddha, one day he left the kingdom and he went outside into the people's homes and into the town, and he saw someone that was sick. He had never seen a sick person in his life because he's always protected from sickness. And he saw this sick person and he asked a servant that was with him, what is this? What is this sick person? And he said, that is the sick person. He's not feeling well. He's suffering. And Siddhartha said, and what is suffering? And why is he going through this? I never seen in my kingdom and in my palace anyone sick. And the servant said, but this is what it is. And then he walked a little bit more and he saw someone of old age. And he said, what is this old person? What is this? Why does he look like this? And the servant said, this is old age. And he said, but no one in my kingdom, no one in my palace looks old. And because he has been protected from all of this human suffering. And a little bit farther, he found a dead person. And he was like, there was like a procession, a funeral. I like, why are they, what is this, like with the tears and the suffering? And he said, this person passed. What does it mean the person passed? He died, he's no more. And so at that moment, he, in one visit to the outside world, he was exposed to sickness, old age, and death that he had never encountered in his life. He returned to the palace. I mind you, he was married and he had a son. He returned to the palace and he announced, I'll be a prince no more. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to study and I'm going to reflect and I'm going to ensure that I understand what is this human suffering, what is this death, because all those events that he saw at the same time made an impact on him as a human being. And now he wanted to find the truth about all of this. So I give you this little bit of a story because mindfulness is coming from Buddhism, from Buddha, and this is how he got to understand that he had to teach his monks about mindfulness. Mindfulness, it's understanding the human suffering, understanding the mind, understanding that we can suffer in different ways. We suffer mentally, we suffer in our body when we are ill, if we feel sick, we suffer in the mind, like we have talked before, because we have many negative thoughts about others and about ourselves. We suffer emotionally because whatever comes to your mind, if it's negative, it will affect your emotions. And we suffer also our own selves. We suffer even our own personalities. So everything he did with mindfulness is to bring to light what can be done to overcome all of these human situations. And he came with awakening, awareness, and compassion and kindness. Compassion and kindness. Through those four methods, we can explore mindfulness and we can explore becoming more human and more understanding of each other. So that's my experience with mindfulness. I know it can be further spoken about, but basically it's how you conduct yourself and how you are able to deal with your own suffering, your mind, your body, your emotions, and who you treat others. That's what, to me, what mindfulness it's about.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for that story. I think this is the first time I'm hearing it, about the Buddha and his role in I don't know if he originated it, but yes, his part in mindfulness study. That is quite interesting. So, and we are going to continue delving in deeper, into mindfulness. We're talking about, I want to look at it from the angle of being in the moment, being present. And we have the past, of course. Sometimes the past could haunt us if we have failed. For instance, I went for an interview and I failed. Well, that registers a negative, not just a negative thought, but a feeling. If I'm going for another interview, it's most likely the mind will be quick to remind me about the last interview which I failed, and then what would happen? I might become anxious. I might begin to worry. I might lose my confidence in my, self. I might think, oh, I'm not good enough, and I begin to agitate. So for me, mindfulness in this regard is, how do I make my past experience, whether they are good, whether they are bad, how do I make them work for me?
Right.
And that's why we say that experience is the best teacher. So for me, really, in being mindful of the present, what I do is, whatever has happened in the past is gone. But if there are lessons I can learn from them, then I make sure to extract the lesson from those experiences and then see how I can improve, on whatever I did in the past, so that I can achieve a better result. I think it was, I can't remember who now, but one of the scientists or inventors of, that is it Ford or not Ford? How many tries he had? The light bulb, I think it was Edison. Yeah. He said of him that I think he failed maybe 99 times or so. But well, I think again it was him who said that he didn't fail, but he had 99 opportunities to improve on what he was working on. So I'll keep it short and say, if at all you are going to have any relationship with your past, in the process of being mindful, make it positive. In other words, see how you can extract what needs to be extracted from the past. By this, you are making the past work for you, not work against you, bringing despair, bringing a sense of failure, maybe even bringing fear. And quickly, the other aspect, the other spectrum, which is the future. How do I make the future work for me? Oftentimes, when we contemplate the future, it is such that we might be full of anxiety. How am I going to pay my bills in November? We might be full of worry. Supposing this happens, supposing that happens, supposing I lose my job, supposing a loved one falls sick, supposing an old parent or grandparent, who's been sick, are they going to die? So it's often negative thoughts. And then we begin to now worry today about what could happen tomorrow. How can we make the future work for us? I think we can also look at the future, positively. If it is something that, an expectation, we can make the future become a motivating factor, so that we can actually look forward to that future. Okay, I intend to have this. I intend to do this in what I'm doing now. This is what I intend to. I hope it will take me to this place tomorrow. I hope I would advance. I hope I would progress. And that way, when you now contemplate the future, you're even getting excited. And it's making you to actually do more what you're doing presently, because you now know that this is going to have a result. Quickly and lastly for me, a good example here could be if a farmer, okay, you anticipate a harvest, you want a good harvest. You don't say, but I haven't got much of this, I don't have much experience, I don't have this, but the weather, who knows what will happen, this, and then you're afraid. No, but if you have planted your seeds today, then what do? If you're looking forward to a good harvest, then you tend the seed. You do what you have to do. You water it. You do this. You look after it. You do the weeding. And so you are engaged in the moment. You're being mindful of this project. You're being mindful of the plan. Why? Because when you think about the future, you're looking for the harvest. You're looking towards the harvest, and that actually keeps you going. So you go and do the weeding, even if you're not sure what the weather might be like, even if the forecast is doom. Okay,
Yeah.
but because you have that expectation, you now ensure that you make the most of now. So that is about making the past and the future work for us so that we can maximize the presence. I don't know if you have something to add to this, Janet. And after that, also, tell us about, because you mentioned about, the Buddha stepping out, wanting to experience life fully. How can we relate with other people? How can we be of assistance to others who are suffering? And how can we, even if we have suffered in the past, how can that help us, encourage other people who are suffering? In other words, that experience is not necessarily wasted, and it's just not a negative one. We are now building on it. We're taking advantage of what wasn't entirely good and making good of it by helping other people.
Yes. So the experience of life tells us that we suffer the past, we suffer the present, and we may be even suffering the future because of our, of course, past experiences that we have gathered, of things that have happened to us. But do you know what Alzheimer's is? Alzheimer's, dementia? Have you seen someone with Alzheimer's and dementia?
Not really, but
No. Okay.
I know
In the
about
United
it.
States, there is a great number of people that when they reach what it is retirement age, maybe a little bit before, after 62, 65, many people get this disease. It's called Alzheimer's, in other times dementia. And what is happening is that they have lost their memory. When you see someone with this kind of illness, when you look at them, they don't look to be here. When you look at them, they seem gone, and they're actually gone. You know why? Because there's no memory. Their memory doesn't work. That's what Alzheimer's is. The memory doesn't work anymore. It begins little by little. It progresses where you begin missing what you need to do. Where is my telephone? Who do I have to call now? Oh, I have to go someplace. They begin writing things in notes in the refrigerator. It begins like that. It progresses where you lose all your memory, and then you're gone. So we don't want to lose this memory. We cannot lose our memory, our past, because we become a nobody. We are gone for good. You're not going to have any more suffering after that, but you're not going to have happiness either, and you're not going to be here. You're going to be gone where you don't know your family, you don't know who you are. It's a very, very sad situation for the person and the family. But I bring the example because everything that has happened is that they're gone. Why are they gone? Because their memory is gone. So we need to make memory our friend. We cannot be at war with memory. We have to make it work for us. Let's say, when you speak about compassion and kindness, let's say I had some quarreling, some argument with a person, and after that, if I am a human being that has compassion inside, I will reflect, like you said before, and I will be thinking, what did I do wrong? Why did we get into an argument? Could I have avoided the argument? Was I rightful in my words? Did I treat the person with compassion? It doesn't matter if I was right or the person was not right. It doesn't matter. How did I treat the person in the moment? And we as human beings, we need to reflect on our actions and ensure that whatever happens, we then take that experience and the next time we avoid whatever it is, because, you know, things repeat themselves. Cycles repeat themselves. You can engage in the same issue with another person, but on the same topic. So compassion, kindness, human intelligence tells you that we need to have the intention to know what we didn't do right, what we should have done better, why we should have be more compassionate with the person, and learn from the past, and then use that experience so that you don't go through that ever again in your life. That is how we can use our memory, our past experiences. Like you said, learn from the past, involve yourself in exactly understanding what happened, and then in the future, if you really understood the situation and you were compassionate enough to let it go, it will not happen again. So we can use our memory, our past experiences for a better life today, but we cannot just kill it. We cannot, because then we're gone. So we might as well learn how to deal with it. If you don't want to deal with it, then you will be gone. If you deal with it, it will be the most fantastic life, because we can learn from everything we have done in the past. We know, I did this right, I didn't do this right, I will make it better. I will become more compassionate. I will become more kind, not only towards myself, towards other people. Because in my experience, if you are a person that doesn't have compassion for yourself or kindness, you cannot show kindness to other people. If I'm not compassionate with me, how could I be compassionate with you? If I'm not kind to myself, how could I be kind to you? If I always have negative thoughts and I'm always, hammering myself, how could I have an approach that is humanistic with you when I don't even respect myself? So first of all, we have to respect ourselves, we have to respect our memory, but learn how to use it for our own survival and our own benefit today. That's what I wanted to add towards mindfulness, compassion, kindness, and in a way, all of this, it's what the being in the moment is, and the purpose of our show is it's always ends in awareness and self-awareness.
Thank you very much, Janet. And I think I couldn't have put it better. You've given it a good, what I say, humane touch. And on that compassionate note,
yeah,
we are going to be wrapping this up. We've been listening to Ziri and Janet in the moment, and today we talked about mindfulness. Just to recap, talked about mindfulness is about being present in the now, in the moment. And in order to do that, we are not to lose the memory of the past, because then it will mean that we no longer exist. But we can make the past work for us, whether it was good or bad. Whatever happened in the past, we can harness it and get the positive out of it.
Yes.
And we need not be afraid of the future. Whatever the prognosis is, we can look forward to the future in anticipation of good, and then be motivated to do what we need to do now. We also said that mindfulness is also about being compassionate with everyone around us, because at the end of the day, nature itself shows that we are all connected. We're all part of the same cycle. So how we treat others effectively and ultimately would impact us. Compassion starts with self.
Yes.
Because you can't give what you don't have. If you have compassion for yourself, then it is possible for you to show compassion to other people. If you love yourself, then it is easier to love other people.
Yeah.
And we hope that you would have gained at least one or two things from today's episode. And if you have, then give us a like, leave a comment for us, share with your friends, and also while you practice mindfulness, show some compassion,
Yes.
to those around you. In other words, pass it on, and let it not be that we just listen, and then we learn, but then we fail to apply the knowledge. Thank you very much, and we encourage you to tune in again for our next episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Siri.